We're live, and I'm so excited because my guest today, Zach Burnham. Great to have you here. How are you?
Good, good. It's
You're
nice. I was just saying to you, it's nice for all of the viewers out there to meet me. I wish I could
That's
meet
right.
them, but
I know, and Zach was telling me that he watches this at times, and he's recognizing people in the comment section. So keep the comments coming. We really want to have good interaction today. So what I was going to say is my guest today, Zach Burnham, uh, software developer. I don't know if is that the correct term for what you do?
yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
software developer.
Software developer, computer programmer.
Yeah,
We're gonna be talking about Bible translation in relation to computer programming. There's a lot of things we're going to discuss. It's going to be a pretty diverse conversation because Zach has a lot of interests. Even backstage, we were just talking about the Last Airbender, the Wing Feather Saga. We were talking about Bible translation. So if you're in the audience, let us know if you even recognize any of those things,
yeah,
because these are quite a span of topics that we're going to be talking about here. Um, but it is good to see regulars in our comment section already interacting. Great to see you there, Tony and Colton. Wonderful to have you guys.
yeah,
Now
yeah. I'm glad.
you may notice someone's missing. We don't have Nicholas today, and that was kind of a last minute thing. He told me this morning that he can't make it, so I'm really bummed about that. I did notice that he posted on X that everybody should still tune in. So Nicholas wants you to be here, even though he's not here. Please don't leave. I know that's why you all tune in to see him, but
And to hear
but
him, right?
and to hear him, right? Could you maybe just try, Zach, to speak with an Irish accent a little bit
Oh
today?
man, I needed to try backstage. I need like
You, you need a
a
prompt.
line, yeah, a feed line.
Oh, okay. Someone in the comments, give us a line for Zach to try with an Irish accent. If we could at least try to simulate having Nicholas here a little bit.
Yeah,
But so first of all, we if we had Nicholas here, I was going to say that um, Nicholas is Presbyterian. A lot of you know that. I'm Baptist. Zach, I think you said you're Baptist.
Baptist.
All right.
All
So
right.
we were gonna actually gonna be more tipped to the Baptist side with Nicholas. Now it's just all Baptist.
Yeah,
So
we're
we can
taking
just talk
over.
about Baptist. Colton, I know you'll be happy.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be very Baptist on this episode. But I was also gonna ask you, but you kind of told me before we came on here. Nicholas uses an Apple computer now. I use PC. I was hoping you could outnumber Nicholas with me on the
Sure.
PC end, but that is not the case.
It's not the
You use
case.
Apple.
I'm on an Apple computer. I wish I was on a Linux desktop, but I use Apple because, yeah. If anyone's used a Linux desktop, say so in the chat. Or if you just don't know what that even means. But yeah, I have to use Apple now because I've done like App Store or iPhone app development work before. So you got to
Yeah,
use their stuff for that.
yeah, and the fact that you want to use Linux just really fits with the what you would expect of a computer programmer, because everybody I know who's really, and I have to say, some of the things that we're going to talk about, I'm hoping my son is an engineer that does a lot of computer stuff, and my son-in-law as well is a computer programmer. So I'm hoping
Cool.
they'll tune in. But not surprisingly, I know my son-in-law. He's quite a Linux fan.
Nice.
But here's the thing: you kind of have to be a computer programmer to use Linux.
A little bit. Maybe to get it going and set up. You have to be very
Yeah, just to
very
get it
nerdy at
going.
least. Yeah. I had a
Sometimes to keep it going too.
yeah, I had a roommate though who was not. He was just generally nerdy, right? Which is good. Go nerds. But yeah, he would run Linux desktop without being a computer major of any sort. So that was good to have a friend who was outside of my software developer world and still geek out about it.
There you go. Now Tony's saving us here because so he's got an Irish phrase.
Oh, that's Nicholas's just catchphrase.
Yeah.
To be sure. To be sure.
Well, I can say per, like the
Per.
Irish. Nicholas told me that's how they say poor.
Yeah, was that last week?
I'm doing my best to sound Irish. I'm a little bit on the per side.
Feeling a little bit per.
Did I say that correctly, Irish people? Probably not. All right, and then Tony also asked, "What kind of Baptist are you?"
Yeah, I would say Reformed-ish. Yeah. Like they're not going to brag about being Reformed at my church, but
I know what you're talking about. Reformed-ish.
Yeah.
Sometimes Reformed-ish though don't even call themselves Baptist. Like some churches, they are Baptistic in their theology.
Oh yeah.
They may not have Baptist in their name.
It's true. Yeah, I live by a church that some friends go to, and it used to have Baptist in the name, and now it does not. But still the same great church,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The church that I'm currently pastoring, it's a new church. We're a Bible church. That's also sometimes code for Baptist.
Yes, it is.
But we actually do have people in our church from different backgrounds. So sometimes it can be nice to not have the name Baptist in your title. But it can have advantages too to have the name. It just depends on your context. Tony also says he used to be Free Will Baptist, and then his views on once saved, always saved changed.
Yeah, I might also just say I'm a Michigan Baptist. I don't know the different kinds up here, so.
And then we've got a Michigan Baptist.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means.
That's what we got.
That's what you got. So then Joel chimes in here. Good to see you here, Joel. I'm SBC. Provisionist, not Reformed. Okay, great.
Cool.
One thing I love about our show is we get all the people together here from different backgrounds. And I sometimes see you all talking in the comments, and you keep it very respectful. So I really appreciate that. And I know that, even if we talk about Baptist things today, people, they're very gracious in the way that they interact in the comments. But, yeah.
Joel also says many Baptist churches have dropped the word Baptist from their church name. Yeah, for sure.
You're right. And like I said, there can be advantages to having the name Baptist. And there can also sometimes be advantages to not having it. For example, if people have a preconception of Baptist or they're just put off by that, then sometimes just having something more general can be helpful. I don't shy away from calling myself Baptist. That is my heritage. But, just kind of, like I said, depends on who you're talking to. And then Tony also said he looks like he's the token Wesleyan as usual. Yes, Tony. I mean, if you want to bring more Wesleyans in, invite your friends, all your Wesleyan friends. Make sure you let them have the choice whether they want to join the chat or not.
Yeah. Tim, have you seen the Honest Youth Pastor channel or on Instagram?
I have.
I think he would say he's Wesleyan. I think I've seen him say so.
Yeah, and
he's a good one.
I know one of you, and it might have been Tony, mentioned. I want to say it was the Disciple Dojo guy. Might also be in that category. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Disciple Dojo. Yeah,
it sounds believable. Yeah, I like him too.
Okay, so you've heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to make sure I get this ready. I'm going to share a little bit about some of the things that you told me you're doing. Let's see if I can get this ready. The screen share should be ready to go, but I didn't set it up right. So now I've got to figure out what I did wrong. That's always fun to do on the fly. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, yeah. So
Ah,
tell us about this. This is your website?
okay. No, it's a website of some friends. This is Animo, which is a Bible verse trading card game. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, so a bit. Let's see. I'll grab a card. I have some. So the actual cards, very reminiscent of Pokemon style, maybe in art and kind of what they're inspired by. Because here's another.
Ooh, those are nice.
Yeah, you got the family who started this. I got to know them, found out they're in Michigan, and became friends. Here's another. We got the dragon,
Ooh.
but yeah, they found out that when you have kids who are riding the bus and going to school, they end up with Pokemon cards, right? It seems like so. And well, they found out the kids were like memorizing all the words all over the cards and like all the fine print and everything. And
Yeah.
so the dad, who was an artist, kind of had the idea of, hey, what if we made something like this, but with Bible verses, where you could have a little fantastical type of creature, but that is like a virtue, like from a verse personified there. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then it turns into a Bible verse memory tool and discipleship tool, things like that. And then of course as they and what happened was, so he made those for his kids. He got some like nicely printed and produced for his kids for Christmas. And then as his kids were showing them off to friends, family that had come visit, neighbors, well, he had comes home from work, which is just a normal day job. He comes home and his wife, I think, tells him something like, "Hey, we have to get more of these. We have 100 orders." Um, and so it just took off from there. And he worked with another friend to turn it into a game, which is a fantastic game that's enjoyable for anyone who's played a game like Pokemon, but it's a little more um, like strategic and enjoyable than that, like up to Magic the Gathering type of play, but still accessible to young kids and geared toward young kids. So, but
Okay.
if you click on the Bible Verse Challenge link up there on the top of the page,
Bible verse challenge.
every month they
Ooh.
have a card of the month, and if you or your kids, right, share a video of them memorizing the verse and reciting the verse, the Animo team, they'll send you a special edition version of that card for the month. And so
Oh.
we heard about Animo and got into it when my son was maybe not even 3,
Hmm.
and so every month from when he was 2.5, and he's now 10. Every month I have a short video of him reciting scripture, and I can look back on those and just watch him grow up reciting scripture. It is so that I didn't see that coming when we started doing it, but um, I would highly recommend getting into that. So
Well, you're doing a good job promoting these. Look at this, Colton. I already want to order these for my son and other kids in the church. Yeah,
yeah,
Colton, I agree. I know one of my children would. She loves graphic
mm-hmm.
novels. She's just very visual, and like you said, she'll just memorize what she sees.
Oh yeah,
All the words on the page, like combining the words with the pictures, is just really effective for her, and it stirs her imagination. So yeah, I could see this. And you said there's a game. I was kind of wondering too, like if you, I wonder if we have one of these local card shops where people play
sure.
magic and
Oh
stuff. I've
yeah.
never gotten into that, but I wonder what it would be like to get a group of people to like go to the card shop and play a
Mm-hmm.
game like this. Has anyone ever done that you've heard of?
I'm not sure. I know there's another game that I'd say would be geared towards like teens and adults called Redemption that you might have heard
Oh,
of because it's been around a long time, but it's
okay.
still kicking and still pretty
Okay.
great. So
So that would be more geared toward like
an older crowd. So
yeah.
I think
Whereas this is
there's
for younger.
yeah, and so there's more like people getting together and actually do tournaments and things for redemption. And so I know people have taken that to card shops and held events at places like that. But yeah,
Okay.
get people together and people interested in Animo, like for church. Reach out to me and or get in touch. I'll find the way to contact them, but they'll hook you up with some resources for that and whatever their
Yeah.
like they have a ministry deal, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. That would
Yeah.
be great. So when you say for churches, is it kind of like you're ordering more at a time, basically?
Yeah, I'm not sure what
For
they do. I
okay.
think basically like the special card of the month, you probably get a handful of those shipped to you so you can have that as like a memory verse in Sunday school, things like that.
Okay. That's really great. So the other question I have about this is like when we were looking at that Bible verse challenge, and they have
Hmm.
like these characters, Halfalanche.
Yeah.
Uh, like, do the characters have any kind of significance, or like how do they? What are the characters about? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, it's just it's imagined up,
Mm-hmm.
just creative characters. Let's see, some of them especially might really tie into the verse that they're from
Ah,
more than
okay.
others. Like let's see, this guy who's like a little dragon or dinosaur fella. But
Mm-hmm.
so they have the artwork, they have the attribute on there, which I think his is safe slumber, and then the verse, which on this one is in peace, Psalm 4:8, in peace I will both lay myself down and sleep, for you, Yahweh, alone make me live in safety.
All
So it
right.
really ties in, and some of them really fit well. I'll grab another one that I really like.
Okay. Let me. I'll get us bigger on the screen here so people can actually see what you're showing. I apologize,
Sure.
everybody. I probably should have done that before when he was showing that other card. Infinity
Yeah, here's one. Infinifish.
Fish.
Infinifish. So, yeah, it's Matthew 28:20. Behold, I'm with you always, even to the end of the age. So,
Aw.
so
Now, do the characters are they part of the game or something like that when you're playing the game?
yeah. So in game, you would kind of like a Magic the Gathering style or Pokemon kind of style game. You get out cards that represent like your resources that you use to activate these guys to score the points, like up in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
um, in order to get to a certain number of points. And in gameplay, like the game itself, like how it plays out is a picture of iron sharpening iron, and like in the game, you're revealing sinnies, the bad guys, like sin to your opponent, and then they overcome that sin with virtue, and you know
Mm-hmm.
to score points and win the game. So as opposed to other games where it's like creatures actually battling and things like that, they tried to make an alternative that really is friendly to like the families who might shy away from something like Pokemon, where it's not a violent thing, but it's represents growing in faith and virtue.
Okay, so this you said this was all like a friend of yours that did this
Yeah.
website?
Yep. When they had set up a Kickstarter for one of their past sets,
Hmm.
I had gotten in touch with them and said, "Hey, I love what you guys are doing. I want to contribute some like wooden laser cut tokens." I said, "Hey, I can make something like this, and maybe you could have a limited Kickstarter reward tier where the first however many people get this pack of cool wooden tokens." And then just after talking to them from that, we got in touch and got to know each other a little bit. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Now, Tony was mentioning
mm,
that in England, not sure
yeah.
if they're available. So, to your knowledge, then it's just here in America that they distribute them.
Yeah, I would say reach out. And the main place to get them would be right on their website, which is
Mm-hmm.
animocards.com. And if the shipping, if it doesn't allow you to put an order in, or it just seems kind of ridiculous for shipping compared to what it seems like it would normally be for
Put
something
in
like that.
coupon code Zach Burnham.
I could maybe hook that up, but
that'd be
I'm
awesome.
sure. I'm sure Josh, one of the creators, would set that up. But let me know.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't know. You can contact me on Colton's Discord. But yeah.
Yeah, you're on social media.
Oh yeah,
like at
I'm on X. Yeah,
yeah.
you tagged me, so I'm at Zach Burnham on X. Yeah, you can catch me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if in the program you decide you want to share any way for people to get in touch with you, you can do that. But at least by X, right? That would be one way to reach
Yep.
out.
Yep.
And Colton says that the website mentions a UK distribution, so
Good.
that's good to hear. Very good. Thank you, Colton, for that investigative work. Now, another thing that you've worked on is a website that I think you did this website.
I did. This is my website. So I don't know if anyone mentioned in the chat that they're Avatar: The Last Airbender fans, but if you are, you might recognize the design of the thing on the screen there. Tim, if you go up in the top menus, if you hit New and then just click on the name of the first one that pops up there, yeah, Scud Pie Show.
This on here.
Yeah. So this is this website is scudpieshow.com. This is a website where basically these board games are playable, kind of strategy, abstract strategy, chess-like type of board games. These are basically fan fiction board games from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
And you were telling me that the M. Night Shyamalan Last Airbender is the best movie ever made.
If out of no, it's not. It's not.
You probably would say the cartoon series is a much better representation of this.
Yeah, I did see the movie first before I saw the cartoon.
By the way, in case I know probably a lot of people aren't familiar with this, but some of you might be. The Last Airbender. My children like the cartoon series, The Last Airbender. So I'm a little familiar with it because of my kids. But the Last Airbender movie is kind of known for not being very well done. The director, M. Night Shyamalan, is a very famous director, but that style of movie did not fit his directing style.
Yeah,
apparently.
It didn't work. Basically, Avatar: The Last Airbender fans, we just pretend that movie does not exist.
But I use it as an opportunity to give a little bit of to jibe you a little bit.
Yeah.
So Joel said that it looks like a Viking shield.
Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, this is in the show, like the cartoon. You see some people play a game on a board that looks like that, and they move some pieces around, but there's no rules in the show. So basically, fans created multiple games to play with pieces kind of inspired by what you see in the show and on that board from the show. But there's so many different like versions people have made, which is really fun. And then and I have a laser engraver cutter, and I have made nicely engraved wooden pieces and boards and things like that. Here's a little.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you have physical editions of these games?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you can also see there's like a board game quality, cardboard fold up board style thing available too. And anyone who goes to the website, there's a little shopping cart link up at the top that takes you to a page with
that. So this, if I click on this, should I show the shopping?
Yeah, you can click on that if you want to.
All right.
It'll take a couple links here. If you
Okay.
just click on that first bold line, the Garden Gate, the Game Crafter set there.
Okay, and then I got to share this tab now. I'm
Yeah.
getting a lot of tabs open.
Yeah, it's tab. Very
Thanks a
tabby.
lot. Yeah, you like a good computer program. You want to make sure I have as many tabs open on my computer
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah, there's a little picture of what the actual cardboard style
Ooh.
set looks like, which is very nice because you get that nice color, which you can't really do in the monochrome wood engraved. Which so both are very nice.
Wow.
But yeah.
So ages 12 years and up suggested.
Yeah.
1 to 2 players. So you can play on your own.
Yeah, like there's some solitaire games you could play too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's up to 2 players. So kind of like chess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 12 and up sounds like it's kind of a challenging game.
Yeah, I would say that my son was able to understand the
Okay.
game pretty well, but as far as actually playing it and the strategy for it,
Wow.
I would say it's pretty similar to chess.
I don't think I want to tell my wife about this because she's really good at these types of things. So if
Nice.
we get this, she's just gonna crush me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where my son got his
oh yeah,
his skills. I think the mathematical skills and stuff. Totally got it from my
Sure.
wife and her family.
Yeah, definitely show the website to your kids who are Avatar fans, and
Oh yeah,
get them on there. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, I mean both these things that you've shown us today. I think I have kids that would like both for sure.
yeah. And we mentioned the Wingfeather Saga on my website. There's a game that I made that's what I envisioned as
That's
like
not the right one. It's this one. There we go.
Yeah, it's like so. Pai Sho is kind of like this classic strategy game from the world of Avatar. So if you hit new game in that menu, there's one oh yeah, the new
This one
thing
here
at the top. Yeah, there's one called Beyond the Edges of the Maps, almost at the bottom.
Yep.
And so I built a game that I felt was like, what would a classic game from the world of the Wingfeather Saga be like? And so I came up with this game that in play, like you're moving a ship around and you're discovering land, kind of exploring beyond the edges of the maps. And you just try to get the most land and surrounding spots.
So if
and
I
things
click
like that.
on a square,
Let's see, if you click on, I think the white ship will probably go first.
oh,
So if you click on the ship, and it will show you where you can move.
Oh, you can
Yeah.
move a certain amount.
Yeah, so go and click anywhere.
Okay.
And now click one of those spaces that are highlighted. Yeah, so as you sail your ship, you have now discovered land.
Ooh.
And now, and then if go ahead and click the black or the dark ship
Okay.
and the other, so it's their turn.
Mhm.
So the first player has kind of an abbreviated turn. The second player can do that, and now click your land piece, which is that dark
This one.
circle. Yeah, and so the second part of your turn is you can add more land pieces. So it kind of works kind of like this, where you can snake land off of.
Are you trying to get more land
edge
than
of
the other person?
Yeah. So you sail around and you try to get the most land. So
Very territorial.
yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay. Well, love to hear in the comments. What you guys are thinking about all this.
Yeah.
This is pretty...
and Tony commented about Avatar blue people. No, not blue people. Well, the blue arrow. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's a very different thing. Avatar, the movies, are those blue people.
Yeah, I haven't seen those.
But The Last Airbender, it's more like, it's a cartoon
basically
series. It reminds me of cartoons that are more like from Japan or something, but it's not, right? It's American.
Yeah, it's American. It's American produced. The animators were Korean.
Oh, Korean. Okay.
So they worked with like a Korean animation studio to do that.
Oh, okay. So there's Asian influence.
Oh yeah, very Asian influence.
Yeah.
Epic fantasy world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the epic fantasy of our time.
Yeah.
So
I was calling it. I actually was, for some reason, this. I don't know even why I was talking about this with my kids the other day, but I was calling it the last hairbender.
yeah.
I'm sure I'm the only person who's come up with that. But no, I was calling it that just to be funny. Anyway, um, yeah.
I
So
so
Joel
I
said it kind of reminds me of the Age of
hmm,
Empires PC game. PC game. I think he's talking about that last game we were looking at.
sure. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any experience with that.
There's a lot. This is really cool. I'm so glad that you shared these with us. Kind of lets us know a little bit about your personality too.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, you obviously like games.
yeah,
You like strategy. And you like computers.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. And I like Bibles.
yes, and that's just where I was heading. We were going to talk
Yeah,
about computers and Bibles, and then
and
how they fit
Bibles.
together. But yeah,
It's true.
you actually brought up you were mentioning in an email to me that I guess you saw Tim Wildsmith's video on if you could only keep 3 Bibles.
Yeah,
That was the question.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I wondered if you had answer to that.
Yeah, so we did talk about this a little bit before the show. Let us know in the audience too. If you could only keep 3 Bibles. What I essentially came up with, I thought actually, because Zach suggested a really good one, the ESV Study Bible. He's got it there.
Yeah,
So I would say that's a really good one because that'd give you a lot of good study notes and just background information that would be useful. And then, of course, as you all know, I'm a big fan of certain translations because of their philosophy, and also, yeah.
Are you go-
So I
Are you
I
going
was going to say
CSB?
the CSB
Yeah,
would be one of those that I would choose, and the NKJV because those two they're contrasting translations that really complement each other. So between a good study Bible and those two translations, yeah, thank you, giving a visual to everything I'm saying.
you're right.
So he's already got the 3 Bible. I don't know which copies though.
Yeah,
But then I was telling Zach that's in theory. In real life, what you end up using it just depends on the situation.
hmm,
Like even though I always tell people the CSB NKJV that they're top choices for me. At my church, I often use the ESV because the ESV is just so widely used, and it's a good translation. So yeah, Joel's saying he likes the NKJV and CSB. He says they're among the best. How about you, Zach? You have 3 there.
yeah. It'd be hard to say no to. Well, the one premium that I have is so in this Amazon little
Mm.
tablet case,
Oh, Bible case,
which is
Bible armor.
yeah, it's an Amazon tablet case is what the product is.
I know.
But yeah, this is a Bible armor.
Oh, you have a Bible armor.
I
There you
do
go. The
have
real
one.
thing. The real
But
thing.
yeah, my ESV Traveris
Oh.
is my one premium.
Show everyone what that looks like inside.
Sure. Yeah, if you have not
Yeah.
seen the Traveris, well, let's find a.
I don't have one of those. That's nice.
Oh, okay. I got to find one with more than one drop cap on a page here. Well, let's go to the New Testament then.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyways, it is a single column. It's paragraph format, but you might see the verse numbers out in the margin there. So the verse numbers are pulled out of the text and along the edge so that the actual text is like a reader's experience there. And there's no headings in the text either. The headings are actually up at the top. So you don't get all the headings really, but you get the approximate kind of what's going on.
Yep. That's really nice.
Yeah, I really do.
So you
really
told
do like
me
that.
you're a single column only now. Is that right?
Yeah, OSAS is one single column, only single column. Yeah, always single column. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that why Tony left the Baptist church?
What's that?
I thought it was once saved, only saved, but you're telling me it's one
Right.
single column, only saved.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, so I have this interesting rebind ish because for the longest time I had this old the ESV personal reference or whatever they called it when it was the old font and 2007. Um, that's what I had, and I
Ooh.
carried it. I carried it in this saddleback leather, removable Bible cover.
Mhm.
But I have since. Well, it wasn't a perfect fit. The Bible cover is a lot taller than the Bible was. So,
Yeah.
but I had this NET, um, which it's a single column reference,
Okay.
and it
Yeah,
fit the
you
cover.
told me you like the NET a lot. That's
Yeah,
nice.
but it fit the cover quite so perfectly. So now I had Brad Lee of like woodsy leather. Um, I had him
Yes.
fuse the cover onto the Bible as a rebind. So
Oh, cool.
this is my special rebind. So
Yeah, I think I have. Brad made this and sent
oh
me
yeah,
one of these little field journal. And if you haven't happened to see
I
this
have
before,
I have mine.
Brad's a pastor, but he
Yep.
does leather work, and he graciously sent me this to review on my channel. And I do want to definitely recommend his work to people. So that's cool that he did that for you. Now, Tony, by the way, said I think he's trying to clarify as far as his. I'm. What does that say? Is he talking about double column?
Yeah, I think he's going double column.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
Tony,
okay.
you're a double column guy.
Yeah,
I can go either way.
I was also
I'm
going.
ambidextrous when it comes to.
Yeah, I was also going to grab my kids one of my kids' Bibles because the CSB Explorer Bible for Kids, I think is what it's called.
Mhm.
Do you have one? That is fantastic. If you guys have not, if you don't have a wonderful Bible for your kids, if you have kids, anyone watching, look at the CSB Explorer Bible for Kids. It's fantastic. It all the notes and little call outs and features it has do not look, they're not childish type of, anything like that. They're really fun and give cool historical context and just fun archaeological facts and things like that.
That's great.
But yeah, when we gave them to my kids, they started just like putting a whole bunch of bookmarks in their
That's
Bible
cool.
with some fun things they were finding. So
That's cool. Your kids are big readers. You told me that.
yes, yeah. Another thing I do is try to find enough books for my kids to read. So actually, yeah, my shirt you can't see all of it, but it says Leviathan and it's obviously a Job 41 reference. There's the
Very
41,
very
but
biblical shirt you have there. He doesn't
yes,
you're not sure what it says.
I don't know what it says because
And your
it's
Google Translate won't be able to decide what it says.
I'm not sure, but that is from but my shirt's from Lorehaven. So if you go to lorehaven.com, that is basically a repository of Christian made sci-fi and fantasy is what they focus on, but you can search through reviews they have there or just the library of books that have been collected there. And I've found some great stuff for my kids there.
Nice.
I like to find middle grade friendly books that they can't just read in one day.
There you go.
Is what I look for. So
there you go.
yeah, there's another recommendation.
Like the Wingfeather Saga.
Oh yeah. I read that aloud with my son. I read it to him, and now we're reading it through again with him and my second, so my daughter, who's ready for it now. So
That's great.
we're in the midst of that.
My two oldest, I read it to them. My middle ones weren't as interested in me reading to them. I did read to them some, but my two oldest really liked it a lot. And then one of my youngest children read through it pretty recently. So back to our top three, I do want to give a shout out to what people said here. Tony said his three tops. If he had to keep only three, it would be the CSB, NIV 1984, and John Wesley's New Testament translation. So that's Tony's choices. And then we got Colton here, the ESV verse by verse preaching Bible, very specific, the KJV Reformation Heritage Study Bible, and the ESV Study Bible. Answer could change tomorrow. I'm with you there. I understand what you're saying, Colton. Yeah. So those are the ones that the audience mentioned.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier. We have so many, like just that we have, just that it's hard to pick only three, in English. It's not anything other languages have the privilege of doing at all. And when we think about the global Bible translation, as what Wycliffe Bible Translators does, and other translation organizations, like I have this this copy here that's kind of gives you a good example of what their experience, what another speaker of another language's experience with Scripture would be, and what it would feel like and look like. Because on the inside, it's blank, and that's we want that to change. So
that's right. That's right. There are some languages that have nothing in their language for the Bible. Before we get more into that, and we're going to in a moment, Joel asked, has Schuyler ever come out with a personal size Bible? Yes, they have. The personal size Quintel. I'm not sure if maybe you're just misunderstanding your question, but the Traveris is not really considered their personal size Bible. Although their newer personal size ones are, I think, pretty close now to the size of a Traveris.
Yeah.
But the personal size Quintel used to be quite a bit smaller than the Traveris. The newer ones, at least for the ESV and maybe the NLT,
I think those are the two.
Yeah. Those are the two that they kind of have updated the format. Really interesting what Schuyler is doing. I like how they kind of, they try new things, and sometimes people get really upset when they change it. But then every once in a while they'll kind of to give you an example, the Stridon, they've been using 28 GSM paper in most of their Bibles. With the Stridon, they decided to use 36 GSM in the latest printing for the ESV. And now everybody's so happy because they're getting the 36 GSM paperback. But that being said, I've noticed some people saying it's too heavy for them. So
of course,
yeah.
For those newer PSQs, the font is the same size, but it has more breathing room. Is that right? And so it's a little bit bigger.
That might be the case. There might be a little bit more what's called leading, the space between the lines. So maybe a little better line spacing. Honestly, though, when I looked at a newer edition, that isn't what struck me the most. I just think they're a little thinner. Would be one thing. You're getting a little bit more words per page, for sure. You're getting more words per page, and more words per line too. So I think, I think it made sense. At the end of the day, I think it's fine they did it that way. There's still a part of me that would like that mid-size Bible with like a 10-point font. But I think the new editions they're quite in the wheelhouse of where they need to be. Okay, and then Tony also said that he he bought his friend's boy an NIRV Adventures Bible for his 5th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good children's. I'm actually, I had planned to review the ESV Kids Bible, but they told me they're currently updating it for the 2025 text. So I'm waiting. That should be coming out soon. ESV also has a kids Bible, but yeah, a lot of great children's Bibles. All right, so now let's talk more about you. You held up something from Wycliffe Bible Translators,
Yeah.
and I will also show here just so people can see. You do have a page at the Wycliffe website. So this is wycliffe.org, and I probably could put the link in the chat. Should I do that?
Yeah, you could do that. You can get to us right from wycliffe.org while you grab it.
Yeah.
And in the menu somewhere, there's a missionaries page, and you can search for Burnham there. Looks like Burnham.
Yep. So
To
I
find
just put
us.
it. I just put it in the chat, and
And
this
then,
is kind of your missionary page.
yeah, and the link under our names on that page goes to our newsletter, which, if you're interested in following along, you could sign up for. So yeah, currently we're in the transition period of, like, we're members of Wycliffe, but we haven't yet met the full monthly budget, that we'll need to meet to transition to doing the work full time. So
Yeah, you need to raise all that money before you can really work for them.
Yeah. So we're getting the financial partnership that we need to hit our monthly budget, and working on that. So I'm currently, at my current role, where actually I think Dwayne mentioned last week when you had him on. He mentioned being a software developer at an insurance company, and that's what I do as well. So currently I'm doing that, and connecting with people in churches, who can help send us to do the work. Which send is funny, because we'll be based in the U.S. It'll be working remotely, so we don't have to go anywhere, and we won't be leaving our current home church, where I serve as an elder and things like that. But yeah, we'd still be working and living as full-time missionaries based in the U.S. So
Now, what led you on this path to doing the Wycliffe Bible Translator?
yeah, it took a long time of me forgetting that I wanted to do it almost. Back so in college is when I found out about the opportunity of, like, the possibility that, through Wycliffe Bible Translators, they partner with organizations that actually do this kind of thing, that create the tools and programs used in every step of the Bible translation process. And there's a good number of steps, right? And so I found out about it then, and that was after, through high school, going to a fantastic, missions-minded church, a Michigan Baptist church, and going through that. So it was pretty natural to getting into college, studying computer science, programming, thinking, how is technology or programming or what I'm interested in, right? How is that used in missions work, right? As hopefully lots of people ask questions like that, right? And so I found out about Wycliffe through investigating that, and then after graduating, and kind of, I had a job lined up, which is the same job I still have. I've been there, so this is year 15 for me. So, but if that was 15 years ago, where I had this desire to do that, what took so long, right? But yeah, it was. There was one of these tools, software products that Wycliffe helps to make that I was able to download because everything's just freely available. And I, found out about how missionaries and translators could use this as they learn culture and language, and to kind of help begin the process of Bible translation, of documenting a language. And that is kind of what really drew me in, of like, wow, I could be part of something like that. And, but yeah, it was a couple of years ago. I had a friend who I did, I have these hobby side projects of programming things I do. And well, one of the things we did was, I had this friend and we would make some like musical educational kind of games apps. And anyways, he was talking about looking for a different job, because he said, I'm really happy where I am, but you know what, I might look for something different where I'd be really matching the values I have as a Christian, and could really, be, really the work I'm called to do. And that really got me thinking about how I kind of wanted that too. And when I started looking at different places, like he had mentioned, like thinking about Compassion International or ministries like that. It's like, well, they need people and technology and programming doing different things, right? And well, I would look up a place like that, and then that's when I remembered Wycliffe, and I've been saying I couldn't stop remembering Wycliffe at that point. And so as we thought about it, my wife and I, we decided to dive in and start the application process, and go for it. So with about 15 years of like the actual professional experience of, growing in my talents and abilities, and it's time to dive in and try to really use them to further the kingdom. So, and it's interesting and pretty thrilling to say, like, that program that kind of ignited the spark, I guess, like 15 years ago. That's actually the same tool that I would be assigned to work on when I start. So that's a really cool full circle type of thing.
Wow. So what kind of things are you actually helping to do with this tool?
Yeah, one of the things, let's see, I have some notes here. Okay, so the tool that I'd be assigned to work on is called FieldWorks, or Flex, which stands for things, but it's used for lexicography. So I had to look up this word in a dictionary, and if anyone out there knows what it means putting together a dictionary.
The irony.
Yeah, so it's all about getting the language, that anyone who's using this, getting the languages documented, getting the dictionary built, because they don't have a dictionary, which we just take for granted. We just look it up on Google, or a book as big as the ESV Study Bible, right? And we've always had dictionaries. And so, but using the computer for it, obviously it can keep all the words in alphabetical order. You can't do that on pen and paper as easily, right? But it can automate other things, like how do we gather up all the words that we need? So this kind of word collection can be done in a few different, like here's a few ways that it helps automate that, which is you can have, so like the program will know this story. So it will prompt you for this story. And when you type out the story in this new language, it can help you automatically kind of gather all the words and add them to the dictionary right then, because you're typing out what it is. And so you can match it up and add them very quickly. But also another rapid word collection tool is where it can help and prompt you for what would be called a semantic domain, words in this semantic domain, like words about the sky, words about the human body. And then helps to draw out all the words related to that. Because if you just sat down and was like, I'm going to write the dictionary today, you would probably not be able to think of 100,000 words or.
Makes you wonder how did someone
Yeah,
like Noah Webster do it?
yeah, yeah. I am in. I've gotten connected with a missionary linguist. So he is the person out, like he's working in Africa. So he's in Cote d'Ivoire, Africa, and he's actually one of the people that is like the person that would use the tool that I'd be working on creating. And he wrote about doing this, collecting the words to build up the dictionary. And but yeah, he mentioned the first Oxford English dictionary was published over more than 40 years. So a period of 40 years to actually complete that thing.
Yeah,
And and we want
I believe that.
to help people that want a dictionary. They ultimately want scripture in their language, and among so many other things that they can have with literacy work and help and things like that.
Now,
So,
are they building dictionaries for languages that currently still need a Bible, or are they even making dictionaries for languages that they've already done a Bible translation in? Do you know?
it would probably be languages that still need a Bible,
Okay.
though. Yeah, without being there already doing the work. I'm not exactly sure, but the Fieldworks tool is it's not just used by translators and missionaries in this context, but it's like, as far as linguistic analysis goes and the tools that it has for that, it's used even in academia for people studying linguists. They'll be familiar with the tool, which I think is really neat. That someone is studying linguistics and they learn, they probably learn what this tool that is doing what they need to do, what it's for, and realize, oh wow, this is built because people around the world need scripture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know like any specific areas of the world that are being targeted currently, or that are most in need?
Let's see. All right. If any viewers on the Wycliffe website, you can look up. There might be like a shortcut to it on the Wycliffe website for, it might say Vision 2025.
Okay.
And maybe right from Wycliffe's homepage is the best to get there. But there they do have a map. They have some stats
Okay.
about how many languages are left, what work is being done. And let's see the map here. So they have, and if you happen to share that, so this Vision 2025 initiative is like this goal
I think I've got it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me.
Yeah, there it is. Once you get that shared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
So
this right here?
Yeah. So about 25 years ago, Wycliffe and other Bible translation organizations got together and basically came up with this very lofty goal of saying, let's have a translation project in progress by the next 25 years. So, which should be by 2025, or no, the end of 2025. And the number, which the last number that I saw published for the number of languages that still need a translation project to be started, is 686, and that it's going down quickly. So every month, or really every quarter, when I think they go through the stats and publish new stats, the number goes down. So hopefully we'll see it maybe even at 500, maybe below 500 when they update it next, which would be amazing. But that's just getting the work started and like having a plan in place to engage a language and
Yeah.
which it starts from building a dictionary, getting it documented.
Now, Wycliffe is most focused, it seems like, on the unreached language groups.
Mhm.
Um, but I would imagine they still have to give attention to changes that take place, changes, shifts in the language, that sort of thing.
Yes.
So is your work maybe going to possibly intersect with that?
Yeah, it would definitely be have an impact on any of that work being done. It's so exciting to know that like I'd be working on something that is used in nearly every country around the world, except for a good handful of countries. A few you could probably guess which country is this not actually used in, like North Korea or something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, used in different. The dictionary creation is a big part of it, but also linguistic analysis tools. Let's see, I have a good story from the missionary I mentioned that I contacted in Africa. Let's see, he mentioned. I'm trying to remember where that where that was.
Yeah, and I'm noticing
Hmm.
too, if I'm reading this map correctly, that it says 4 countries' highest remaining needs are, like, for example, China,
Hmm.
and that would be interesting to learn more about. Like, because I really don't understand how language operates in those countries. I always think of, like, I don't know, Mandarin, Chinese, but it seems like from what this map is saying, there's groups within China that actually there are quite a few there that don't have um, a Bible in their language. So
Yeah,
there's pockets of people. There's other nationalities or demographics of a population even within, and I think that's just interesting here. But did you find that thing that you were looking for?
yeah. I have a story of an example of what using the tool for linguistic analysis and translation work would be like. And
Mhm.
so I have a story of somebody who was working as a consultant on a certain feature in this FieldWorks application. So he had a time where he was discussing some scripture with um, people that spoke this language, and it looks like it's Kifuliru, the language. I might have to take a class on just learning how to pronounce all these different language names, right? Um, but this is in Democratic Republic of Congo, and so he's talking with people who speak this language and the translators, which are the native speakers of this language. And so he happened to say the sentence, "Don't steal from widows." Okay, so maybe they're looking at a translation of James. Okay, well, everyone started laughing.
Hmm.
And they kept laughing and they're in a laughing fit, laughing uproariously. And
Oh.
so he's wondering what he said wrong. Like maybe he
Oh.
had to tone wrong because it's a tonal language. And so they told him, no, your tone was actually fine. But when you said that, you implied that you could steal from everyone besides widows in the
Oh.
language. So that's not very good. So he found out, he learned something new that day. The last word in that language, in the sentence, is going to be the main point. So
Ah.
so for the sentence, he said you would maybe need to say in English something like, "Those widows don't steal from them," like the steal from them being like this last word.
Yeah.
And so where it says, yeah, the from them is like a suffix on their verb. And
Hmm.
so the emphasis on the don't steal from them rather than don't steal from widows.
Ah.
And
Yeah.
so he uses FieldWorks, linguistics analysis tools to be able to go back and check the whole work of all the New Testament translation work they've done up to that point. And
Hmm.
so using the program, he's able to identify the different different sentence final words and go through and check them to make sure what was being said was really what was meant. And it just noted in the story I was sent that many changes were necessary. So he could go through and make those changes and fix all of that
Yeah.
with this in kind of a more automatic way that really helps you as you go through the process
Hmm.
of fixing something like that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, and it's just easy to take for granted with computer technology, just how much the processes have been sped up. I can only imagine in the
Mm-hmm.
last 20, 30 years, what an incredible change has taken place. Things that
Yeah.
took years and years to do by hand and still weren't done perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, computers can do a very thorough job just going
Yeah.
through all of that. Do you happen to have a guess at least as to, um, like
Mm.
some of the changes in how long it used to take to do something versus something you're working on?
Oh man, I know that years ago, like being able to have access to email was a huge boost in
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
time it
just
took
email. Yeah.
to discuss back and forth. Yeah, huge
Wow.
huge change there. And but I know, so if we kind of look way back at where Wycliffe kind of comes from, I could share about that. So Wycliffe is founded by Cameron Townsend. So some people might recognize the name from different missionary biographies and things like that. But he's the founder of Wycliffe Bible Translators, but he began working in Bible translation after coming into contact with some non-Spanish speaking people in Guatemala that spoke the Quechucal language in 1917. Um,
Okay.
and so he began working with them, and he was actually there like for a summer job of like selling Spanish Bibles. But he meets these people and realizes they don't have scripture, and so he
Mhm.
begins uh, working on translating into their language. So, but he kind of famously kept his translation notes in this shoebox. Um, so just on note cards or things like that in a shoebox. But for 10 years, it took him to uh, do the New Testament translation into this language. But yeah, just imagine how much work and how easily that could be lost. If it's just water damaged or destroyed in a fire or something like
Mm.
that. So obviously we still have that same work to do, but with the technology,
Mm.
we can we can just speed up everything with backing up all the work and sharing it so easily, like instantaneously, right? And having Google Docs style, like people working on it at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
and just being able to have tools to compare work to the original languages, Greek and Hebrew and all that as well. Um, so it just speeds up everything. And um, but yeah, so some of the like missionaries using these tools would say like this is like the actual we need software developers working on these, like it's a critical part of Bible translation. And
Mm.
um, yeah, someone else said, let's see, yeah, where someone on the team that I'd be working with, um, he said we can't do all the things we would like to do or help the users of these tools as quickly as we would like because we just need more software developers to join in and
Yeah.
do this work. So there's like a few people working on this right now, and some of them like as a part-time effort. And
Yeah.
so, but he said if this was a commercial project, like with the full budget and the ability to hire who was needed, they would at least have a team of 8 full-time people on
Yeah.
this. And so, and he said this is just one project. We have one tool in the process that's
Mm.
just understaffed for what they would like to be able to do and
Yeah.
keep everything up to date and speeding up the work of the users. In talking to some people, I like to think about like the work that I would be doing is helping them, like the missionaries or translators, helping them to not have to use the computer as much, right, and get to do just spend more time with the people and helping them engage with Scripture, things like that. So
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
some other things I had some notes about different translation examples and
Okay.
how it might feel in different languages.
Yeah, that'd be good
If you want to go
good
through
to
that,
hear.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for one of them, I will share a link with you in our chat if that works.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, and then you can get that pulled up while I share another one.
All right.
Okay, so I will go ahead and pull up Job, a couple passages. Let's see here, and I'll use the CSB for you.
This is what you shared with me, so I have that up here. Choosing the
Oh,
right
okay.
words.
Yeah, we can do this one first. So so actually on Wycliffe, I'm not sure the actual landing page, but if you maybe in the menu you can find resources for churches or for kids.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a example that I remember seeing, I think when like years ago. But it starts by saying, in English we have the word love. I love pizza, but I also love my wife, right? But it's just the same word that we have. So if you scroll down to the next page, there's this little activity because it gives an example of a language that has 26 different words where we in English would just say to carry. But they have 26 different verbs for carry. And some of the examples is, I'm not sure how to pronounce them in this language, right? But the kuch and pet and lup and all of this. So to carry on your back or with a strap, or to carry on your shoulder, the ketch one, number 2, or to carry in your arms, right? And
They must do a lot of carrying in their culture.
right?
They have such specific words for carrying.
Yeah, they really have to pack in the mental picture, right, in the word. But so there's this example of in Matthew 3,
pincers. Yes, I would
Matthew
use
3:11.
use that word all the time.
Yeah. So Matthew 3:11 says, but someone is coming soon who is greater than I am, so much greater that I'm not worthy even to carry his sandals. If maybe you can
Okay, so go back there.
Yeah.
Carry his sandals.
Yeah. Not even worthy to be his slave and carry his sandals. So the activity here is find, which word would you actually use to translate that instance of carry versus the Luke 14 verse of, and if you do not carry your own cross and follow me, you cannot be my disciple. So which 2 words for carry would we use?
I'm not sure how did servants carry the sandals?
Right. Yeah.
I would assume just hold them in your hand, right?
Yeah. Hold them in your hand.
Null? 9?
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, for that one, it seems like there's a couple different options.
Yeah.
But for 2,
carry your own cross.
Yeah, there's
on the shoulder.
Yeah, to carry over your shoulder, kind of a word.
Yeah.
So
it's number 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
And let's see, along those lines. So each language, has challenges like these, right?
For sure.
That are unique to it, but also there's probably going to be unique blessings of working in a language. And an example of that is, I have this story from the missionary that I've been in contact with who works in Cote d'Ivoire. So he said, there's the difficulty of gathering all the words to compile the dictionary, but another difficulty is when words, don't simply translate from one language to another, like that word carry in that example we saw. And so he had this specific example when in working with the language he was with. And so he had a language where they have 2 words for our word wash. So you can't just pick one of them every time the word comes up. So they have one word for when you're washing just part of your body, but not your whole self. So you would wash your hands or your face, and you would say that first word. And then the second wash means to wash your whole body. And so you could use that word, he says, when you're washing your face, but it means like you're in the process of washing your whole body, but you're currently on your face or something like that. And so knowing how to separate these words gave them this unique emphasis to be put in the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet. Because Peter responds to Christ saying, Lord, don't wash, this part of me, my feet only, but wash all of me, my whole body, my head and my hands, just to put that emphasis on what he's saying. And so I like that example of knowing how it can, give you this different perspective. But if you want to pull up Job 19, 26 and 27 and read that, I have another example.
Job 19, 26. You're just saying to read it in an English translation?
Yeah.
Okay. Job 19, 26 and 27. All right, I will pull it up here.
Cool.
If I can get this to, there we go. There we go.
Oh, yeah. So this, I'll read it then. It's right there.
Yeah.
So Job says, and after my skin has been thus destroyed, yet in my flesh I shall see God, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold, and not another. My heart faints within me. And now, right there, can you flip to Psalm 139, 13?
Psalm 139, 13.
Which says, for you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. So I don't know if you happen to know what common word these verses have.
So you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. And the last passage said, after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh.
Okay, here it is.
I'm not sure.
It's at the end there when he says, my heart faints within me. So the word for heart there is the same as the inward parts in the Psalms 139.
Oh, right. Okay.
Would you happen to know what that is in Hebrew?
Would it happen to be the word for kidneys?
It is. It's the word for kidneys.
Okay.
So, which
makes me wonder. I know that King James occasionally would use the word reins, which I think is referring to kidneys. So let me add yes, for thou hast possessed by reins. That word there, I think, is referring to kidneys.
Yeah, interesting.
Leave it to the King James to be super literal there.
It's out literaling the LSB there.
I think so. But it uses a word no one recognizes. Very few people recognize.
Yeah, and so that's an example of we have to do this dynamic translation in this instance, right? Because we say the word heart, they use the word for kidneys, and that's a good example. It's like there are some times where you can search for the word kidneys and find where that word is used and maybe translated as kidneys in other passages in the Old Testament. But when to us it means our inward parts, our heart, we have to translate it that way. And so that one, even just for us in English, we see there's always this dynamic element going on, right? And let's see the next one. Go and open Matthew 19, 22.
Matthew 19, 22. All right.
Okay. So when the young man heard this, he went away sorrowful, for did I write this down wrong? It might be, maybe it's Luke. Maybe it's Matthew
What's the
9.
verse say?
Oh, okay, I'll read. I wrote down the reference wrong. But again, I tell you, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God.
Okay. So you're not sure of the reference?
Yeah, I
it's
lost
right
the
around
reference
there. It's right
Is
around
it?
there.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the young man went away sorrowful. So it's right after
that. Oh, okay. I just wrote down
23, maybe?
Oh, yeah, I wrote down the beginning of the passage instead.
1923.
So, what do you do when people who speak a language do not know what a camel is? What do you think you do?
Oh, it's the next verse, isn't it? So let me just.
Oh, yeah.
Let me try 24. Yeah. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. Yeah, if they don't know what a camel is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You have two choices. you would, sometimes I think you could use the word, just like if sometimes in Hebrew there might be a word we don't really recognize, so we just use the word, transliterate it, and then put a footnote explaining it. Or you can come up with something equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah, so the thought would be, oh, well, maybe there's an equivalent of an animal that they have familiarity with that would fit this role of a camel, and
right.
But in that case, the closest thing they had in one language was a pig, and so they thought, well, with the pig's significance, we can't really do that. So, but the other option is include a picture of a camel, and so that's one way to do it. Is right there, just be able to say, oh, okay, it's this kind of animal, this size. Okay, so that one, okay, that makes sense. Now go ahead and go to Matthew 7. You can open up 9 through 11.
Matthew 7.
So the camel was a little bit tricky, and this one is even maybe a step up, because it says, yeah, which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? What do you do if the people you're working with in this language would prefer the snake to the fish?
Yeah. Again, footnote would be one option.
Yeah, because it seems like you can't just switch them. That would feel wrong to me.
I know,
right?
that does seem wrong, yeah.
But in that case, I'm not sure what the solution was.
If you ask the question in that culture, which one of you would do that, they would all literally raise their hands as if that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, they would be like,
I would do that.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to give him bread. I'm going to give him a snake. I'm a good dad, right? But yeah. Oh, also going back to the camel, Tony commented and said the First Nations version goes with largest of the pack animals, and that something like that to.
Oh, there you go. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I need to share something quickly here.
Sure.
You mentioned putting a picture of a camel. It just gave me a flashback to something I saw today. There's a guy on one of the Facebook groups, Kelly Reimer.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
Really funny guy, and posts a lot of interesting and funny, humorous pictures. And he posted something today. He says sometimes it helps to have a visual aid. So you were talking about having a picture of a camel. Well, the notes for this Bible say tasty, for the different tasty, and he has spam. He loves to use spam as his food of choice, I guess. I don't know if he really. I think he really does love spam. So there you go.
I think so too.
In some cultures, perhaps you could use pictures like this to communicate what you're trying to say.
Have your footnotes literally just be pictures of spam. Yeah, I love it. I did not see that post yet, so
I don't even know where I saw it. I mean, I tracked it down just now.
Yeah,
That might have just been. I think no, he posted that on Everything Bibles.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
guess I didn't check it today, but I'm
yeah.
glad now. Um,
Sorry. So maybe Kelly Raymer needs to be or Kelly Reimer needs to be one of your
yeah, he can get in on this.
consultants
Yeah,
for uh, what pictures to put in the footnotes.
yeah. Okay. Another example I had. Let's see. Um, Go ahead and just open up Esther chapter 1.
Esther 1.
Yeah, we'll look at a few verses. And okay, so this example and a couple other examples I have are going to come from a podcast episode that I really enjoyed, and I think everyone would enjoy listening to. If you're fine nerding out about these things, you're going to enjoy it. So the podcast is called "Working for the Word." It's for context to kind of connect it with some of the audience. I'm sure this is hosted by Andrew Case, who has been on Mark Ward's YouTube channel before. So lots of us are probably familiar with him, Mark Ward at least.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this one podcast episode, and I can share the link. I can share the link with Tim later, but he Andrew, the host, is interviewing a language consultant, so a translation consultant, which is so someone missionary who's working at the end of the process of translating a passage or book, where he's going to come in and help the translators, who are these national people that speak a certain language that they're translating scripture. He's going to help them compare their work against the original languages. I guess we can zoom out and talk about the process of Bible translation, which is, if a missionary like Jack, who I have connected with, who's in Africa, he goes in and works with people that speak a language. They want scripture, and he's going to help them start the translation process. And so it's the people that speak that language that become the translators, and he's going to help them and learn their language and help them. But the end result is a translation that the people really have created themselves and will use. They know their people will use it. And so they're going to, maybe in Africa, where a more national type of language is maybe French. The people will probably be some familiar with French, the people doing the translation, and they're going to translate from French into their language, and then have the translation consultants come in and say, yeah, let's take a look and check this against the original Greek and Hebrew. And so on this podcast episode, this translation consultant shares some stories that he had that I enjoyed everything he said. So I'll get the link to share with Tim for anyone who's interested. But yeah, this Esther example
Mm-hmm.
is so Esther 1:11 ish mentions, on the seventh day, when the king's heart was merry with wine, he ordered the 7 eunuchs who served him, and lists their names, to bring Queen Vashti before him. Okay. And you'd think that maybe translating that, to saying to bring the queen before him would be pretty simple. But in the people that spoke this language, they are reading this passage and they ask these questions like, so where was Vashti? Where was the king? Where's the narrator at? Does Vashti have to go up in elevation or down in elevation to get to him? Because their verbs have these infixes where all of that information, how far she went and the elevation change, that's all packed into the words.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he shares a story in the podcast,
Wow.
he mentions, like, what do you do with that? Does Esther 1 answer those questions? No. And so I can share what he said for the solution is so he asks them, it's like, well, when you read this, how do you picture it? And as long as their answer, doesn't contradict anything that we know from Scripture, when Scripture isn't giving us the answer, then it sounds good. And so that was a interesting example of
Yeah.
how language can be so different and
Yeah.
and and challenging in a different unexpected way.
Yeah. So with a lot of these examples, and you're showing just the differences in language and things we may not realize or take for granted. Uh, what what would you say the use of computers is going to do? Is it going to kind of somehow help with some of these things that you're talking about, or
Mm.
is there any way that you can see your work having an impact on things like this?
Um, the tools that I'd be working on, I think, will just um, maybe not solve questions like that,
Right,
but they
because
work
these are
through,
very contextual
yeah, very contextual,
issues.
very,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. I mean, I would imagine certain programs could be developed down the road, linguistic programs, theoretically,
yeah.
to kind of. I mean, so for example, you can actually give a little bit of expert insight on this. Google Translate, um, depending on the language, it can do a better or worse job of getting those things, right?
Hmm.
So you were saying that with something like Chinese, it can really struggle to get things right or to be consistent. Whereas
Yeah.
with Spanish, it does better. Now, I know some of that has to do with the language itself, but I would imagine it has a lot to do with the information it's working on.
Hmm.
The more you can get people to give it good information, the better that program is going to be able to. What
Yeah.
about and to tie it into last week?
Hmm.
What about AI? Will
Yeah.
that also impact how you do computer programming or the way you go about it?
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think with what I'd be working on, there's probably not as much AI that's um, kind of being looked into right away,
Hmm.
as far as the specific tool that I'd be
Sure.
working on. But with translation as a whole, um, there's so going back to the translation process. So when people start, um, they're going to build up a dictionary. And so at that point, the language is not documented and AI can't help you do a thing unless maybe the language is very related to another language that has some information to go on,
Do
something like
they
that.
have an alphabet?
Um, it could depend. Like some languages could have that already, and other languages
Yeah.
might.
I mean, one of the things that just popped in my head
Mhm.
as you're kind of talking about this is, will computers or phones start to transcribe
Mhm.
things that are being said so that you can more quickly input that information,
Right.
even if it doesn't know yet what those words mean, if it
Sure.
has
Yeah.
the ability. I know that's tricky because it needs to know what to even assign as a word in the
Yeah.
first place, right? So
Yeah.
perhaps that's not really possible unless AI can do some sort of like figuring out what words are based on the audio that's coming into it. I
Yeah.
mean, I can imagine these things are incredibly challenging, but
Hmm.
it's amazing what computers have achieved, you
Right.
know? So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. Thinking about what is possible with AI is, uh,
Pretty mind blowing.
yeah, mind blowing is a good word. I was going to say
We did get
fun,
a
but scary.
question, by the way.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
What's your view on how they translate? I'm not even sure of the word there, Raham,
Oh,
from the Hebrew into English.
right.
Uh,
Is
so monokeros in the Septuagint, unicorn is how the
the King James,
KJV
right?
probably Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, modern translations don't go with unicorn. It's an
Yeah, I don't
animal
know.
with one horn.
Yeah, do some go with rhino or something in that for our English?
Let me do a little quick research here.
Yeah.
Let me find out what verse we're talking about, because I don't think he put the verse, right?
Oh yeah,
So
Tony, if you know some of the verses, that'd be
I think I've got it. Let me just.
okay. Yeah,
So
I don't know what.
Numbers 23, 22, I think might be one of those. God brought them out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. So let's look that up in different translations. Okay. Interesting. You get a lot of different variations here. So let me try to get this up here.
And what was the reference on that?
Numbers 23, 22. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get this. Just too many tabs. Thanks to Zach. I've got too many tabs. Plus these ads on this. That's why I ended up pulling up the ESV website, because the ads at Bible Gateway are ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you have any way to hack into their website, Zach, and get rid of some of the ads, that would really help us out. All right, so yeah, so you see the top one, the KJV, the strength of unicorn. The ASB went with strength of wild ox.
Yeah.
But
Tony
then you get to
says
the
most go
wild
with wild
ox is, yeah, the CSB even does that. I do see, though, Darby had buffalo. You have rhinoceros. That translation, I don't even know which one that is referring to. The Douay-Rheims. Interesting. The Douay-Rheims had rhinoceros. Wow. The easy reading translation has wild bull. I guess that's equivalent to wild ox. Yeah. So LSB has wild ox. Yeah, that seems to be the main choice.
Yeah, and it's my just kind of guess that with a term like that, it would just kind of be like with the consensus that we see in English with the wild ox being used, that they would start at something like that when a translation consultant helps. Yeah,
I don't know a lot about how Wycliffe does their work, but these are not. It's not like our context, where we have a lot of existing translations and a heritage of translations, and therefore we're kind of doing our work to almost say, okay, we know what's already been done, we know what's out there, we want to produce something almost, if we could make it possibly better than what's out there. They kind of see themselves almost as competing with other translations. With Wycliffe, they're not competing. This is it. This is the translation that this language is going to get. And so I think they're going to go with consensus. They're going to look at the English translations. I'm assuming a lot of these are English-speaking translators to begin with. And I think that's going to guide their process quite a bit. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how many Wycliffe Bible translators are incredibly fluent in Greek and English. Greek and Hebrew. But even if they are, I think they would consult translations that have been done for questions they have. And for obscure terms, I would imagine they're going to go with what committees have ultimately decided upon. The Latin name, Tony says, for Indian rhino is actually Rhinoceros unicornis. That's an interesting tidbit of information. Thank you, Tony.
Yep. The rhino is a battle unicorn, as I've heard it said.
So I'm currently going through an interesting translation. I'll pull it off the shelf here. And I'm pulling other things off the shelf too. This is called the First Testament. It's a single person translation. I'm going to review this, and I've actually spent. I got this Bible from IVP quite a while ago, but I haven't reviewed it because I really wanted to read a good amount of it before I gave a review because it's not a typical translation. But one of the translations in this that stood out to me that I don't ever recall seeing in any other translation was, you know how the Israelites had to make the tabernacle and put some sort of waterproof skin over the top. I can't remember what a lot of the other translations say. It might be, I don't know if it's porpoise skin or something like that. But this translation here says dolphin skin. And that just kind of shows you that when it comes to Bible translations, there are kind of obscure terms at times, especially Hebrew, that we're just not 100% sure. And a lot of translations kind of say similar things because they don't know either. So they go with the consensus. But occasionally, if you get a translation that is willing to kind of, you know, go outside the box, so to speak, you might see something different. And I thought that was an interesting choice. So I was kind of wondering, would people of Israel even know what a dolphin is? And I guess in the Mediterranean Sea there is like a certain type of dolphin. So I suppose it's a possibility. Anyway, I'm not sure I know it's not a unicorn the way we think of unicorn, right?
Unfortunately, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so Tony just said there, rhinos are unicorns that got fat and ugly.
Yeah.
Maybe. Did they used to look like, beautiful, white, strong, and I don't know.
With a mane, I don't know.
And yes, Tony, that is John Goldingay's Old Testament translation that I was just showing there. And then Scott McKnight did the New Testament. So I have some, important things that I'll try to talk about when I do my review, because these are not typical translations.
Mm-hmm.
It looks for some reason like our X feed got cut off. That's really odd. That is really interesting. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to be wrapping up fairly soon anyway, because we are getting close to 2 hours. So you've given us a lot of food for thought, though, and things that we should be thinking about. Kind of as we wrap up here, is there anything else that we didn't get to that you were kind of itching to tell us here about the things you've been talking about?
Let's see. Yeah, we went through lots of it. Yeah.
Good.
And my fun examples and things like that.
Good.
So,
good.
But yeah, I'd encourage everyone watching to, consider, maybe people who are missionaries. I would challenge you to get connected with them and follow along with what they're doing. If you're interested in being a part of the work that I'm stepping into, we still need the financial partners in order to get to actually do this work. So, and I'm excited to get there. And currently we're past 50%.
Wow.
And have a busy month of connecting with other churches in the area. So looking forward to that. This week or this month, I won't get to make it to my church, my home church, any Sunday because I'll be visiting different churches with presentations and being part of other missions Sundays and things like that. So I'm excited for that and connecting with other people. So think about how you can be involved in this work, because just like the role I'm stepping into is, technically I'll be working as a full-time missionary, but it's very behind the scenes, as a way of supporting the work that's being done. But even where I'm at now, like the job I have now as a software developer, if that's you can be just as much a part of this work, as I would be by partnering with with my family or other missionaries in, financial and prayer partnership. So yeah, encourage that. You can visit our Wycliffe page, sign up for our newsletter. That's the link under our names on the Wycliffe page and all that. So yeah, it'd be great to connect with anybody who just wants to follow along or is interested in helping us with financial partnership to get to do the work.
Thank you. And this is something we did want to highlight today is that Zach is just getting started with this work, really trying to delve into this, but that financial support is a big piece of the puzzle. And of course, I know they appreciate your prayer support. That's very important. But clearly, everything that you've been talking about today just shows how much work goes into it, but how much work there is still to be done. So that's been great, and it's just really enjoyable to just talk about all these things, kind of like just nerding out really on all these topics, everything we've talked about, and even the things you shared at the beginning about those games. If you're watching this on replay, or if you're just tuned in, I should say, watch it on replay and go back, watch the beginning, so you can see some of the other stuff that Zach has worked on and contributed to. But I just want to thank our audience too. You guys, as always, are awesome. Love the interaction and always just really great thoughts that you're sharing there in the live chat. And really glad that you could be on with us today, Zach. I'm going to let the audience go, but thank you, Zach, so much for joining with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, what a blast.
Yes. All right. And next week, we'll have our Irishman back with us. That should work out. So, but that's okay. We made it work without him today. But I'm going to let you guys go. So have a good day, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye, everyone.